from Mark Hall. With the election over, there are still people looking at the numbers, including how voting blocks nationwide impacted the results, including the black vote. Cheyanne Daniels is the race and politics reporter with our media partners at The Hill. Cheyanne, welcome back to Capitol Review.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cheyanne, what is your reaction to black voter turnout?
I think that, frankly, the nation was surprised. We had heard all of these rumors that black voters weren't going to show up, particularly black men. And then it was the exact opposite. They did show up, and they showed up in huge numbers for the vice president.
Well, Cheyanne, you know, black women, as you're well aware, voted overwhelmingly for Vice President Harris, but there was a lot of reaction on social media, no surprise, and there was a lot of back and forth about not getting support from women in other voting blocs. Your response to all of that back and forth on social media?
Yeah, so I think what we're seeing is this sense of, frankly, exhaustion from black women who feel that they are, in many ways, the backbone of the Democratic Party, and they are asked to show up and to vote for Democrats, and they do, even sometimes when they feel that Democrats aren't taking the time to speak to them, to speak to the issues that are most important to them, to prioritize white suburban women over black women. And so I think what we're seeing now is black women coming out and saying, you know, we understood the assignment. We showed up, we did what you asked, but it was the other demographics who didn't, and you all thought that we were going to be the ones who didn't. So there's just this overarching sense of frustration right now coming from black women.
Well, the majority of black men voted for Vice President Harris, but President Trump, President-elect Trump, did get some support from black men. Is that a tug-of-war issue now among black voters, given the president's past with negative rhetoric towards black people?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that we saw President-elect Trump make gains, right? Each year from 2016 to 2020 to here in 2024, he's made gains on his support among black male voters particularly. And what I'm hearing is that black men especially are kind of exhausted with the whole political system. Very similar to black women, they feel that politicians aren't listening to them. They feel that they're being overlooked, but then they're asked to be saving Democrats when Democrats appear to be losing. And so, you know, they look to the president-elect and they hear policies, they hear him talking about being strong on the border, they hear him talking about being strong on the economy, these sorts of things that really resonate with them. And it kind of overshadows some of that controversial rhetoric, as you mentioned.
Is this bringing black voters, the recent election, is it bringing more black voters together, more black communities together to maybe discuss and talk about what's important to them moving forward?
Yes, so one thing that I heard repeatedly from many that I talked to this election cycle is that if this election did anything was highlight just how diverse the black vote is. It's always sort of talked about as this one sort of conglomerate that Democrats have to win over. And really what many were telling me is that this is showing that phrase that we constantly hear, which is that black voters are not a monolith, and they have, you know, varying concerns that they want to have addressed, whether that's the economy or reproductive freedom, which we heard was a huge concern for black women versus black men who are saying, you know, I want to hear about how you're going to address inflation. How are you going to address job opportunities for me? And so even though they have some of these same concerns, some of these same issues that they want addressed, sort of where they rank in terms of those top 5 issues differs between men and women. And it's that gender gap that we keep hearing about, that black voters are sort of showing Democrats, if they want to continue to have black voters as that base voting bloc, have to be able to sort of change up how they're talking to voters to be able to hit on those issues depending on where they are, and yes, the gender of voters that they're speaking to.
Cheyanne Daniels, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.